Good morning, family. What's up, y'all? I see a couple people in the room. Peace to you this morning. Um, so y'all see the title, right? I was watching this dog thing this morning, or police with these dogs. This guy shot three dogs. One was his great nephew's dog. He said he bit him, and homeboy's getting arrested because the dog bit him, but then he went and got the gun and came back and shot three dogs. So they're arresting him for animal cruelty. Just something I was watching. You got one too, man. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what's going on over here. Y'all say hi to Seven. She's doing her little ball thing. So it's not Seven that has been lost. Okay, me and this damn ball. Okay, see, look. This is what we go through all damn day, all day. Okay, but anyway, so Seven's in the backyard. You guys know that I recently moved into a house. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I have not had the police called on me in years for anything. Okay. And the police were called on last night by some of my Karen neighbors. Okay. What is this shit? Okay. I don't know what that is, y'all. It's just in the way. I tried to move it and then it put that up there. They tried to take your rooster. All right, Carrie. Okay, I got you. I got you. So, day before yesterday, I believe it was Friday, there was a dog that showed up, and as I was trying to come out the house, it was in my yard. Um, and I have a fenced backyard, a fenced front yard, but going to the garage and coming out the driveway, there's no fence. So it was roaming around in the unfenced area. And I wouldn't go outside because it's a black pit bull. You never know what the dog, will do or whatever, right? So when the dog moved, I finally got in the car and I left. And when I came back, it's like the dog came back, and I'm like, oh shit, my car now. I saw it down at the neighbor's house, um, to my left, and it came off their carport and everything like that, and came down to the house. I'm like, damn, my car now. Okay, I've only seen you one day. So the dog on Friday, it was roaming from my yard to at least one, two, three, four, five of my neighbors, me making six. Okay. So I called animal control actually, and they said I had to call the Humane Society. I called the Humane Society. Humane Society didn't pick up. I basically had gotten in the car and went to the Humane Society to talk to them. They gave me a number, told me who I needed to call. That basically I would get the police department out here, and because there was some kind of contract issue according to my daughter, um, with animal control or whatever. A lot of dogs running around out here. Um, and so anyway, animal control showed up on Friday. And, I told him what was going on. We got a pit bull roaming the street. I warned a couple pedestrians that were walking down the street that the pit bull was loose. Um, it didn't seem aggressive, but I wasn't going to find out. Okay. As I had a dog that was very I petted a dog one time, and I went up on his porch and petted him, and he never moved. He didn't move until I went to go touch him, and then he went ballistic. So you never know what a dog is going to do, pit bull or no. And I've had pit bulls before. I've had some really nice ones, and I take it as in it's all in how you raise them, except for that one damn dog that was like Stripe that used to roll all his siblings. Okay, so I wasn't taking any chances, and I told animal control, yes, subcontractors. I told animal control that you know that he was here, this, that, and the other, and we had just I put out a trash can full of water because he's probably about, I don't know, 80 pounds, maybe. Seven is 30 pounds, so he's about two and a half times her size. But anyway, um, I put out some water and I opened the gate because I figured if I can, when I was sitting there watching him from the couch, he came by my door, and actually he's whining right now. So I'm gonna go out there in a minute. Yeah, he's whining right now. But he was sitting by my water spigot, and just laying there, and he was whining. I was like, he needs some help. He's actually crying for help, but I just didn't really trust it. So when he moved away, I opened the gate, filled up a trash can, one of my old trash cans full of water, and set it inside the fence. Damn, Seven, you just knocked yourself out. Come here, baby. Oh, come here, baby. You hit that pole. Okay, okay. Well, you're going to get the ball. Okay. And she turned around to go chase the ball and cracked her head against the Come here, mama. Cracked her head against the pole. She looking at the pole like she want to bite it. You okay, mama? Huh? You bumped that big head this morning. Yeah. Ooh, that hurt, huh? Go rest your nerves for a minute. Okay. Yeah, rest your nerves. See, you got a concussion. You still want to play with this damn ball. Um. Anyway, where was that? Okay, so we put the water in the fence, and my daughter was doing my hair, and of course, she saw him. He came back, and she's like, "Mom, he's in the fence." So we opened the door, went out there, closed the gate, got him in the front gate. All right. Yeah, she cracked the shit out of herself. Yep, that's kind of. She's like, "I'm going to get the." No, I'm not going right now. Let me go get the. Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the way she was responding. But anyway, so we got him locked in the front gate. And basically, when animal control showed up, mind you, nobody called animal control but me. Okay, apparently, because they did show up, and they did show up at my door. Okay, but my neighbor across the street, we saw her out there talking to him. I'm like, you didn't call, but you showed one of them nosy neighbors, kind of, all up in here. Now, what I found out in the interim, like maybe 15, 20 minutes later, is that my neighbors who have like 10 or 15 dogs across the street, and I'm like, what the fuck? uh they're an animal rescue. Okay, they rescue animals or dogs, because I didn't know why they had that many damn dogs over there. So anyway, I go out there, I talk to animal control, tell him the situation, tell him which way the dog went, and then he's looking for him, and then we finally see him, and he's going back to my right down by the corner, but homeboy can't catch him. He stops, he tries to catch him and all this stuff. We talk, and he tells me that he won't be back here until Monday. He's off for the weekend. So if we catch him, that'll be a good thing. So after he left, we caught him. All right. He is so freaking talkative right now. I hear him out front. But so the neighbors across the street, they came over. They, gave me their card and shit. They ain't came over since I've been here, but now they coming over. And they give him a blanket. They put the blankets out. They asked if I wanted them to keep him or if I wanted to keep him. And I said, you guys can keep him. Okay. And then I thought about it. I said, this is a pit bull. He's skittish. You're getting ready to abruptly introduce him to uh, 10 other dogs. So this might not go well. So I said, I'll keep him until Monday. Right. So here, I'm going to open my camera up. So, he's inside of there right now, but he's on the other side because he hears me throwing the ball with Seven. He probably will come around this corner in a minute. But my neighbors over here, they have like 10 dogs. Okay. And y'all might be able to hear him howling. Um, and then over this way, well, y'all can't really see it. Let me go this way. The Karens live right over there in that gray house. Okay. All right. So my neighbors over here, they bring me a 50-pound bag. I'm like, I'm not keeping the bitch. He's just gonna be here for 2 days. There you go, right there. Hey, big boy. Hey, big boy. I ain't touched him yet. Hey, big boy. You still got food. Hmm? And he's a puppy, but he's a big puppy. Okay. Okay. You still can't leave. You still can't leave. So anyway, yesterday I'm chilling and police come bamming on the door and nobody comes over here because nobody see how talkative he is. Yeah, but that's him right there. Okay. So there's the bucket of water. All right. And it's been there since Friday when we captured him. And I didn't have my other dog bowl. So there's the dog food that my neighbors gave. So yesterday, police come banging on my door. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I got a cigarette in my hand. We okay? I'm right here. I know you got one more day. I'm hoping your people come get you. Don't be sneezing at me. But anyway, um, can I go open the garage, please? Damn. So anyway, police come banging at my door, and they're talking about your neighbors called on. They said your dog. I said that ain't my dog. I just told them straight up, right? That ain't my dog. And talking about that he has no water and no food, and they call. That's the reason why they call. He has no water and food, and you can clearly see that he has water and food. Yeah, I think I just tried to give the dog a cigarette. But anyway, so me and the officer talk and shit like that. And I just told him the situation. The dog's be here until Monday. That yesterday morning I went out canvassing the neighborhood to see if anybody was missing a dog or if they knew where this dog was. My daughter the night before, which was Friday night, that was Saturday morning. Friday night, um, she posted this picture up online inside the fence, and you can actually see the water and the food. Um, in the post for the city, the lost and found for the city where I stay at. So, where your little squeaky toy at? Where's Seven squeaky toy at? Nope, you can't come out. We had to put bricks down there. He took one of the bricks and put it inside. I was like, I am not going in there with you. Stop trying to eat my fence. Anyway, that's the dog food that they gave. Like he's here for 2 days. That's why I ain't keeping him. Eat too much. Shh. This is what we dealt with the first night. All night. Ah! Let's see. I think I got a peanut butter treat for you. Maybe that'll help you, cause he gonna eat through something. I swear he gonna eat through something. Um, I know this is a long story. I'm making it longer than it should be, and I kind of missed you guys. Anyway, shut up, Seven. Um, oh yeah, I gotta tell you, I introduced Seven to him, and Seven is a fucking bully. She don't care how big the dog is. She didn't attack the Presa Canaria and this dog, cause she's stupid. But what happened? What happened? So the police officers come, right? Police officers come, and I'm telling him the story, where the dog was, about the pedestrians, about the people across the street, about animal control, when he'll be back. And he's like, your neighbor said he doesn't have any food. And I'm like, he does have food. And the guy kind of tried to get smart with me, tried to say some shit. I said, have you looked out there? Because if he would have stopped and looked at the dog rather than just knocking on the door, he would have saw that he had food and water. Okay. There's Seven here. Damn, Seven, did you knock your head and your nerves loose on your ass? What's wrong with you? What's going on with you? What did you do? Oh, what the fuck did you do to yourself? Okay. So anyway, you're getting none of these treats. This goes for your guest. Faker. Little faking ass dog. Anyway, you're an actor. Um, so he goes out there. He sees that the dog has water. I don't open the garage to show him the dog food, but just tell him the situation. And I said, which one of my neighbors called? Because when I met my neighbors across the street here, they said that this guy, want that? How you just gonna throw that? You don't like these? You want the peanut butter ones? Nope, you didn't even like the peanut butter ones. You like real food. That's what you like. You want that one? You still don't want that one. You want to get out, don't you? You got one more day, sweetheart. You got one more day. No, no, don't be fussing at me either. Don't be fussing at me either. No. So anyway, we thought it was the neighbor across the street with the camper because when the rescue people, the dog with the rescue, the house with the rescue dogs, she said that her neighbor he was evil, and you need to watch out for him. And I was like, he need to watch out for me. Okay, not getting ready to play that shit. But when they said my neighbor called and I asked the police which ones were was it, and they told me it was this other family. Um, the officer said something about I hate when people get in people's business and they don't know what they're talking about. So he left and he did, he said the dog seems like a good dog, which he does. I just can't take care of him. And he said that I was a good person for, taking care of the dog because what I said was I'd rather have him in the gate where he's not roaming the neighborhood because people are afraid of pits and you never know what they're going to do, and or him getting hit or something like that, so he's safe inside the gate and anybody driving past can see the dog. If it's your dog, come get it. Okay. So he left. As I'm sitting in the house before the sun totally sets, um there's a pickup truck that stops by the house, right in front of the house. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the owner of the dog, right? Because we put it up on this lost and found thing. And then as I'm walking outside, this gray car stops in front of the house. And it go, when I walk out there, it kind of moves along, makes left on the corner, and then comes back around the other way and goes up here to my neighbor's house, the ones that called right across the street. So I stand outside because I'm like, old school is you talk to your neighbors. You don't call the police on your neighbor. All they had to do was walk over here. They have never met me in any regard to think that I'm any kind of way other than their own prejudices. So I'm standing out there in the driveway like, I'm right here. Come talk to me. Please come talk to me. Y'all know how I go when I go, come talk to me. So anyway, um, the one lady gets out the car and she looks like kind of manly with a lot of hair, but then I realized no, that's a woman with a ponytail. And then she goes in the house and she gets the younger lady, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're gay over here. This is one of my neighbors right here. He comes and walks his dog all the time, and it's funny watching him walk down the street with the dog. The dog be pulling him. Hold on a second, you guys. How you doing this morning? All right. Do you happen to know where this dog belongs? No idea. Okay, I was trying to find his home. I have him on the lost and found to see if somebody would come and get him because I can't keep him. I have my own little dog, but he was roaming the neighborhood. He does. He does. He's a sweetheart. He looks like he's a sweetheart, but I'm not going in there. you know. So, but you have no idea, haven't seen him anywhere around. Okay. I know it's like three dogs that look like him around here, but they're in their homes, except for the one that's walking around with the homeless guy, but he's got the same pattern on his chest, black with that white pattern on his chest. So, you better now? I just can't deal with it because if I have to, when I get back in the truck, I can't have two dogs in there. That's just too much for me. Yeah, and he's you know, I don't know what he's gonna tear up. I know what my dog's gonna do. I don't know what that dog's gonna do. So, but yeah,
Yeah, you don't know what kind of training he's had.
that part,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
part.
he might not be hot trained or anything. Young dog.
Yeah, he's
He can't be more than about 6 or 7 months old.
oh, if he's 6 or 7 months, he's gonna be huge.
Yeah, he's a young dog.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think he's quite a year yet.
Well, I was thinking he was between a year and 2 years,
He might be,
but
but he's kind of small.
when my daughter was looking at him and she saw him use the bathroom for the first time, he didn't lift his legs, so he's probably still a puppy.
Yeah, he's still pup.
Yeah, he's still a
Yeah,
puppy.
he's young. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him run at all.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I see you sometimes walking.
Yeah, I do take her out for a walk in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
You see, I don't take mine out because I don't know what dogs are around here. She's just a little bitty old thing.
yeah.
So I run her in the backyard
We've been walking around the neighborhood. I live up this off of the road to the care.
this way. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she knows where all the dogs are at.
She
By now, she knows what they're
knows
doing.
all
She
of them.
knows for them. She knows where they're at.
Yeah.
Which one's a friend name? Which ones are yelpers? You know.
Okay.
She's a pretty smart dog.
Okay. Yeah, shepherds are. Yeah. I mean, I saw you one day. You were walking so fast. I felt so sorry for you. I'm like, oh my God, maybe he needs a dog walker because she seemed like she
No,
was
no.
pulling you that day.
Sometimes I go with a little bit of a trot.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
exercise part.
Yeah, that's what I need to do too. So,
It depends on what she's gonna do. If
got
I'm
you.
if I'm more hurry.
How old is she?
Looking for that dog, I'm saying, yeah, I hope they don't keep riding her all summer.
No, animal control, they're coming on Monday.
Yeah,
And so I'm just keeping him for the weekend, hoping that we can find a home. Like I said, he's on the lost and found dog for the city.
yeah.
And I went canvassing some of the places, some of the blocks over.
Could be just an abandoned dog.
It could be,
Some
but I
people just
think
drop their
somebody,
dogs off. I've
yeah,
seen them. Unbelievable this many times. I've seen them drop dogs off on the freeway.
yeah. I mean, as a truck driver, I see him, they drop him off at the truck stops and stuff,
You know,
you know.
it's not too fun.
She's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Nice
right, have a
talking to you.
good one. All right. What up, girl? Oh, boy. Yeah, that part. Okay, sorry, y'all. What you say, people? Get this damn link out of here. I can't read your comment because they're doing some stupid stuff on Instagram. I mean, on StreamYard. But anyway, so y'all heard that particular part. Go back 7. Go back. Oh. So anyway, the neighbors called. I'm standing out there in the driveway, like, come talk to me. And I noticed that it's two older Karens over there. That's why I said, lost dog and the Karen. But yeah, they called the police on me. And made a false report because anybody walking over here would have seen that the dog had water just like he was sitting there drinking the water today. Okay. um I kind of got to thinking about this as far as being in the truck. This is why I didn't want to get a place, because folks be doing shit for no reason. There was no reason for them to do that, and I know it's got to irk their damn nerves. Because I was telling one of my friends, I said, in this little cluster of houses right here, I'm the only melanated person here. And for what's coming up in here, the truck, the car, the furniture, the U-Haul, all this stuff, they got to wonder, what the fuck is she doing? I'm pretty sure that they were wondering what it was going to be in the beginning. You get used to your neighbors because, like, the people who were here before, they've been here for like seven years. So, you know, people get a little possessive. But yeah, they called the police on your girl. Um, and then they wonder why people gonna be hostile toward them or whatever. Because I'm definitely gonna be hostile toward them. Okay, so peace, enemies, public. Um, Peace, Carrie and Nichelle. Nice to see you. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I just wanted to tell y'all that I got a lost dog over here. I kind of wish I could keep him, but I just don't trust it. And I'd rather have a dog that's 4 to 6 months. The guy said he's might be about 6, 7 months, but 4 to 6 months to actually try to train, especially of that breed. I just can't do it. That dog was over there trying to bite the chain link fence, so he might try to eat some shit, and then I'd be paying for some shit, and I don't need to be paying for nothing else. 7 is uh 89% trained, little heifer. Bring it here. Bring it here. Okay. But the whining, talkative puppy out front has 7 squeaky toy. I gave it to him last night just to see if it would keep him entertained and shut up. And he got quiet. He was pretty quiet last night. And just what y'all heard a moment ago is the most vocal he's been since yesterday. Um, but that's it. I said toe 7. I said, nope, he too big for you. You can't have that dog. Cause she's not fixed yet. I still want to see if I can find a rat terrier for her to breed with and let her breed one time, have a one litter, and then probably get her fixed after that. You know. And there was a little loose Chihuahua rat terrier male running around here. He ain't fixed, but he's skittish. But he's on the other side of town. So, but anyway, the other thing, as far as my neighbors across the street not knowing what's going on, she came over talking about she was leery of dogs not having their shots. And I'm like, bitch, you got 15 damn dogs over there. Excuse my language. You got 15 damn dogs over there. Did you get all of them vaccinated? Okay. I mean, she may have, because she may get volunteer shit. How I got that 50-pound bag of dog food. Um, but I was like, she's like, well, if you need any help with vaccinations, I said, no, my dog is fully vaccinated. And she kind of, you know, taken aback a little bit. I'm like, why wouldn't you have your dog vaccinated? I mean, I told her, I said, I lost one already to, parvo and I don't know, distemper or whatever it was, because I didn't get her vaccinated way back in the day. But I told her, I said, no, my dog is fully vaccinated. And I said, and she's microchipped. And she's like, that really took her back. I was like, yeah, okay. If my dog get out, I'm gonna find mine, okay. Um, but that took her back right there. And now they want to be friends. They didn't even. You tried hatching roosters. I can't see that. Somebody else has to put. Well, I put in another comment because if y'all don't know, StreamYard got some shit going on right now. So let me see if this will raise your comment up. Okay, you said I tried. Try. I'm trying hatching roosters spawn in case I lose him. Yeah, yeah. I can see that right there. I don't know if y'all saw what what Walmart did. Some of the poor employees at Walmart did for April Fool's Day. They had eggs at $1 and something a carton. Um, and it was just an April's Fools joke, you know. So that was funny. That was funny. That was fucked up. But so I'm gonna get these dogs fed and watered this morning. I was gonna read. I wanted to read a couple days ago, but I just keep getting real tired and don't even think people are interested in it. I want to read another one of the was that William Irving. Um, Not the next chapter, but the chapter after that. I think is pretty interesting about media, and it's a short one. So I was actually going to combine the two today, but I might do that a little later. I got to take off and roll up to Vegas today. Uh, Go check on a family member out there and stuff. And I do that by myself. My daughter just flaked on me. So, but dogs will be here. Hopefully, somebody will come by and get their puppy. Because I do not want to pay to take care of that dog, nor fix it, nor pick up big ass dog shit. I mean, what's crazy though is he's the size that I thought 7 would be in the truck. Um, but I don't want to put them together because I took 7 out there to meet her and I took her out on the leash and stuff. And 7 Her hackles went up. It's like, mm-hmm, be nice. He a puppy, this, that, and the other. And Seven kind of turned to the left and looked at him side eye. And I was like, I pulled her. I was like, I know you. I know what you're getting ready to do, right? Because she did it with Fundi's Presa Canaria and tried to jump on Fundi's dog. Like, Seven, you are a chew toy to these big dogs. But and she turned around the other way and they was like sniffing each other's face and shit or whatever the case is. And next thing you know, Seven just attacked her face, attacked his face. I was like, that's fucked up. You're rude. you know. Um, yeah, like I said, at Fundi's, Seven jumped on Checkmate. Not that Seven could beat Checkmate up or anything like that, but jumped on Checkmate. Just rude. I ain't gonna tell y'all all about that, but it was funny because I was like, "Your dog's gonna eat my dog," and Seven's the one that's gonna start shit, which she did. And then Seven ended up eating Checkmate's food. I'm like, you don't even know how to be a guest in somebody's house. You're like, I don't have to share shit with nobody. So, so yeah, she jumped on the little puppy. I told him, I said, I think it's my fault because let me see what's going on with this thing. Oh, okay, because when I had that little Greenland's hound, when I found that Greenland's hound, that dog was getting on my nerves. Shedding, you can't do anything about that, but that little puppy took Seven's bed, sat on Seven's head, ate its food, ate Seven's food. When they went walking, they kept fucking with Seven. Even I had a dual leash so I could keep them separated. And it was just that helped for a while, but it always wanted to just keep messing with Seven. And finally, I was like, Seven, you're gonna have to train this little puppy to stop doing this. You mama. And I told Seven, get him. And you want to play, let him play. And so we did it until he backed off. And but even that dog was a little bit too much for me. But I don't want to try to get these two together because I'd rather have something that a dog that's about Seven's size to deal with as far as that's concerned. Because I like her size, even though she's not a lap dog. Okay, but anyway, so Seven, yeah, Seven will try to chase your rooster. I actually was like thinking about the way she chases this ball. Okay, I was like, it would be cruel. One, I was like, if I find another small dog, I could deal with both of those. Okay, and she'd have somebody to play with out here to keep her company. But then I have to do the house training and all that stuff. And Seven's not a talkative dog, so um, if the other dog barks a lot, then I got to deal with that. You know, that part. But at one point, I was like, if I get a rabbit, she can chase the rabbit around. And I'm pretty sure the rabbit can get away from her. But I was like, that's traumatic on the rabbit, so we can't do that. But I'm thinking about getting another little dog for her, um, just to have a dog to play with, because she is crazy with this ball. Okay, I wake up in the morning, go, good morning, Seven, and she brings me the ball. Okay, we didn't have this problem in the truck because she just laid in the bed like, okay, it's a trucking day. But now that she got a yard, it's ball, 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 ball. I could be sitting on the couch with the back door open, and she'll bring the ball to me like throw it. So I'll throw it through the living room, through the dining room, and out the back door. And she'll bring it right on back. And this goes on. I don't think we've gotten her tired. I've quit. I've just walked in the house and closed the door. I don't know if y'all remember this one picture that I put up where Seven had found this ball. And the crazy thing about Seven and balls, it was like if I buy a ball, she'd eat it. She'd tear it up. She'd take the cover off of it. She'd kill it if it had a squeaky toy, which is what they're supposed to do. But if she found a ball as we were walking, that ball she would not tear up. Okay? She wouldn't tear it up for shit. So now it's at this point that she's not tearing up the balls at all. And these are balls that were bought for her. And my daughter bought these balls for her, I think. Um, but she had found this ball and we were at the yard. And I was just out there, exercising her a little bit. And the ball was dirty and it kept getting dirtier on the blacktop. And so every time I would get it, I would wipe it off because it was just nasty. And so I went to get her some water, and I had a bottle of water in her bowl, and I put it down, put the water in the bowl, and there's a picture. It should be on one of my, I don't know, maybe my posts or something like that. I don't know, where she took the ball and she put it in the water bowl to wash it off and basically gave it to me because that's what she saw me doing, washing it off. So now, damn, she just hit that ball with her nose and it went over into the other neighbor's yard. 7, you got one ball left. No, you lost it. We got to go get it later. Come here. Get this one. Get this one. Come here. Come get this one. Get this one. No, 7. Here, you still got this one. Come on. Come on. I know it ain't the one you was playing with. Come on. There you go. Come on, bring it here. I know that's a different ball. So anyway, she'll take this one after so much time, and when she gets some water, she drops it in the bowl. And once she drops it in the bowl, I walk in the house. Come on, 7. You can't get that ball no more. Come on. I'm gonna go get her that Christmas 12 pack of different balls and throw them all out here. Yeah, she hit that ball just right on her nose, and it went right over the fence. Get you some water. Okay, so family, I ain't gonna stay up here long because, like I said, I really wanted to take a little time to read. Um, Washington Irving's, his is on this next chapter that I want to read, and it's a short chapter unless I go into the poems. One was the story about the broken heart, and the other one, I think it was the master poet or something like that. Something about a poet. I might read those stories in conjunction with it, but one was about the media. And we're talking about the early 1800s, I think it is. So that might be a good one to read. Um, Still thinking about it. Hey, Amerigal. So yeah, that's something that I want to do. But I just wanted to tell y'all I had some Karens call the police on me, lying to the police over here about this dog not having water and food, when in actuality it had food and water, and animal control was called, and it had a blanket, and yeah, yeah, it's follow me on this one. I don't know if anything else is gonna transpire, but I'm not gonna take a Karen too well because I'll punch both of them in their face. Okay. Um, but we'll see how this goes. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because it could have been anything going on over here. You know, you could have had somebody over here that had charges. Anything could have happened. You can't be calling the police on people just on some bullshit. So I almost went over there yesterday. I really did, but I stood out in the driveway waiting for him. Like, come talk to me, because that's all you had to do in the first place. You know. The first night I told my daughter, I said, well, I'm thinking about going around and seeing if anybody's missing a dog. And my daughter told me, she said, Mom, don't go nowhere tonight. I was like, okay, fine. And I went out in the morning, and when I went canvassing the neighborhood, I totally understood why my daughter said don't go out um, at night. There are a lot of dogs around here for one, and some sketchy ass people around here for two. Not all the way, but I did meet a couple, at least one, on yesterday. That as much as I told him what was going on is he didn't catch it. You know, he thought that I lost the dog when no, dumbass, but he was high as hell. Talking about, I don't, I spend a lot of time on the military base. Okay. Well, do they know that you fucked up when you drive home? Okay. Um, Either way. Yeah. So, but I met a lot of my neighbors um, on different blocks over here. We'll just see how things go because little subtleties of things that I notice around here, and it ain't got nothing to do with how you present yourself. It's people's prejudice. And I hate to go that way with this situation, um, with the two brothers, at the track field, because people are trying to push us to go into that racism thing. We know that it's something that happens. Um, we know there's feelings behind stuff. You're more apt to hang with your own than others, and with the historical climate over the past 100 years, I would just say, I can go further than that, but just 100 years or so, we know that people feel certain kind of ways. But just to put it out there to say that everybody feels like that, no, and that it's always about racism, I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with the push to make it that. Because if you guys think about it, just to go into here, prior to this incident happening, excuse me, prior to this incident happening, the young football player getting stabbed and everything, and the other one being arrested, there was a movement, if you would, to have people marching on this black shit again, and it didn't go anywhere. And then this pops up, and I'm not saying that it's a psyop or anything like that. It very well could be, organic. It really happened. Um, but that doesn't mean that people still won't try to push you in a certain direction. And that direction causes us a lot of problems, because it causes us to continue with the same old stereotypes that we had before. Did I put a stereotype up here? Yes, I said Karen. Y'all know exactly what I was looking at. Okay. But at the same time, what's behind all of that is that in many regards we're decent people. Because as I was canvassing the neighborhood, just to give an example, use myself as an object lesson. As I was canvassing the neighborhood trying to find a dog, people were a little surprised. At least a couple folks were a little surprised that I would go through all that trouble. And they was like, "You're a good, citizen." And I know some people be like, "Yeah, she says she's a citizen." Shut the hell up. But that was something good to do. And I was trying to tell him I'd rather for him to go home, this dog to go home, than for him to go to the animal shelter, and knowing that they might have a 10-day turnaround where he would be euthanized if he doesn't have the proper disposition. I think he's going to be good. He's just not good for me right now. Okay. I got to start with a puppy. I got to start with a little baby. Okay. Um, and then even the police officer that was saying, he was a little surprised, not surprised in a bad way, but I guess that wasn't what he expected. He expected the worst. We know how when police officers come out, a lot of times they expect the worst because they got to be on guard for whatever um, it is in terms of law enforcement. Just like there's a video up online, I'm sorry, a post up online where this sister in Indianapolis went for a domestic violence case, and or call, and she's no longer here. Okay. Um, in many regards, the bullshit has to stop. Because I'll put it like this, and this may not be the way everybody wants to receive it, but um, and we know shit happens. I'm not denying, shit happening. I'm not denying I had to chase somebody for calling me the N word in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay, I'm not denying, certain things is along that line. Um, but when I used to do poetry and stuff, and I did this monologue where I played Angela Davis. And we all had monologues. Everybody had their monologue, and we just went behind each other for Black History Month many years ago. And the teacher, or should I say the director, which was the first lady of the church, she told me that in acting, when you're coming behind somebody, if they stumble, what they found is that if they stumble in what they do, make mistakes, um, forget their lines, stuff like that, that energy, if you would, she didn't use those words, but that energy has a tendency to reverberate to the actors, the presenters that come behind them. And it's the same thing when we're talking about racism and prejudice and fears and whatever. that we're human, so we be swinging from monkey bars behind each other, one ring to the next ring. And so when people are telling you that it's all about racism, you have a tendency to be looking for that. Just like with law enforcement, when you're talking about criminality, it's in their minds. They're programmed with it because of their job and their duty. So when they look up, they're not looking at the good that a person's doing. They're looking at the potential for it to go bad because they've already got that happy little suggestion in their mind. And so that's what happens with these discussions. And y'all can see it in some of the panels that you look at right now, because folks can have a conversation. Something can be introduced into that conversation. And next thing you know, on the next stream, somebody else is talking about that same thing, which wasn't even a major point, and it might not even have been a factual point, but it is something that people end up having to deal with because, like I said, we're human beings. We swing from one ring, one happy little suggestion to another. And that's one of the things that has gotten us to the good and to the bad. Okay. You know, we learn to mimic as children. Okay. Mimic our parents. Okay. And, then of course the language comes. And so it's the same thing here. You see one person go off, you're more inclined to go off too because he did it. But they told us when we were younger, if everybody jumps off a bridge, you jump into. It takes strength to stand on your own. It takes strength, um, and um, a good opinion or self-identity to be able to stand on your own and not be swayed by the crowd. It's a hard thing to remain neutral because sometimes you do want to hit somebody with a chair. Okay. If y'all know what I'm talking about, sometimes you do want to cuss people out, and then other times you want to help a person regardless of what their skin color is because we're human. Okay. On the other tip, I started this day out crying and I was like, yeah, let me go on and go online and get this shit off of me. And what it was there's been some videos that have been put up about reunions, military people reuniting with their family, surprising their family, and just to show you how human we are. Anybody can understand, you know, your family member going off to war or military to college or whatever the case is, not seeing them for a long time, or even some of your comrades and friends showing up, and then y'all have that emotional hug and you're happy to see them. You can't act like that shit don't happen, that it's all about skin color. It depends about how you guys were. I'm gonna say soldiers in arms, but I'm not meaning that in a military sense. I'm meaning how you walked with somebody. As I watched these videos, I remembered my son going to the Navy, and I couldn't afford to have everybody to come out there to see him graduate from the Navy. But I was in the truck and I made it a point to be there. And I didn't get there at the right time, and I didn't get the memo of where I was supposed to sit and where he was and all that shit. So I had to go look for him and call, have people go find him. And I know it refreshed his heart to know that somebody from his family, a half a continent away, came to see him, you know. And, and it's kind of like with the dog. I'm hoping somebody will retrieve the dog as well and have that reunion that they're happy to get their pet back. But also we have that as we grow older. Sometimes some of you guys may not have experienced this, but there's some things that happen, and not only did I cry watching those videos and understanding that emotion, having that experience, but there's times where you have family members who are estranged. And as I'm looking at this stuff and I'm rolling down the road listening to songs in a city that I used to be in, and it's just bringing me back. I'm not listening to this newer music. I'm back in the um, 90s and 2000s for the most part, and just remembering my life when I was here before, first marriage, not married, whatever the case was, starting trucking some 25 years ago and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm looking at my children who are in their 30s and 40s, almost they ain't in their 50s yet. I didn't go that bad, but in their 30s, Um, And I have to ask, where did the time go? And there's some things that you can't change. And sometimes you just wait for them to come home to appreciate what it is that they have in front of them and the connection to remember. I was thinking about my nephew and how when I saw him, I had something positive to say to my sister about him and my son. But I was also thinking about how it was when I was younger and that auntie would come or that uncle would come and they's like, oh, that's little so and so. I remember you when you were da 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 da. You can't anticipate how that makes the younger of those two feel um, in that situation. Even if you don't know that person, that adult who's saying that they knew you back in the day when. Um, you can't really anticipate that, you can't force that, but it just gives us a sense of being connected. And sometimes we forget that with our life. We go on with our life and just think that you know you got to put all that shit behind. And I'm just waiting for a couple family members to wake up and turn around and remember the good times, um, that everybody don't hate you and it's not all what you see. I'm hoping that, and this is Sunday, so I'll go this way. Y'all remember that song, Break Every Chain? I'm hoping that we would break every chain, especially the mental ones that are going on, because there should be nobody out here saying, my mama don't love me, my daddy don't love me, um, you know, and making excuses for things that you yourself don't want to change or see things for the better, um, that you just want to control the narrative. And that's what we do in this community a lot of times, is try to control the narratives, if you would. Every white person has to be racist, every black person has to be a criminal, every man has to be a predator, every woman has to be a hoe. Break every chain. If that's any message that I have to say today, it would be break every mental chain that you have and live a better life, and really appreciate the people that are around you and try to make this world, I hate to go cliche, it's a better place. Okay. Um, I'm still gonna pop Karen in her mouth if she go crazy, either one of them. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. It may never happen. But I'm open to a conversation and I might go knock on that door. Okay. Thank you, Amerigal. I appreciate it. Yeah, they definitely want a race war. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So, yeah, so we're gonna go on and get out of here. Like I said, I gotta put some food out here, clean this, give this water, fix this water, feed these dogs, and then I gotta roll up here to Vegas for a few hours and come back and put these damn bookshelves together. God damn, the fuckers are heavy. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Just remember to share some positivity with folks, and don't fall for you know the show, because it's a show. If y'all ain't realized it, it's a show, and the show is so bad that your girl trying to find a new social media site to go to, because it's redundant now. But anyway, family, y'all take care. Thanks for sharing this little bit of time with me, talking about these dogs. What's going on over here? I wish I had somebody to give the dog to, that would take care of it. I don't want to see the dog put down, but I can't sacrifice that much to take care of it. So peace, family. Y'all have a great one. I see y'all around these YouTube streets. We out of here.